Well, it's a snowy day out today. Majority of the snow came the other day, a few days ago. I would like to have been out there earlier, but I was sick. So it's kind of nice to have this kind of morning worth of snow. It's supposed to go away here later on, but it's nice to have out. Not a lot of snow here, maybe 3 or 4 inches, but it certainly sets the mood. Now, just gonna start setting up camp here. First things first, the Blue Eddy. Perfect. Give this a quick shovel, tracking snow into the cabin. Now it's not overly cold in the cabin right now, but I like to get heat in there anyway. It says it's about -5 or 6 in the cabin, so it shouldn't take too long to heat up. Yeah, it'll take no time at all for that cabin to heat up. Like I mentioned before, it's probably only -5, -6 Celsius in the cabin. With that little airtight, it'll heat up real quick. Looks like that dough's back. It's hunting season too, so it's good to see her around. She's got sanctuary on my property. She's pretty tame for a whitetail. I'm standing here talking. I got the cabin fired up. Fire's going. She's just standing there. 25 yards away, maybe. It's good to see. Time to do a little snow shoveling. I gotta be careful. I gotta leave kind of a layer so it'll go right down to the ground. I'd like to get a good base. Snow's packed down. It's less likely to accumulate on your boots and stuff, and you're tracking less stuff in to the cabin. Both debris and snow, so leave a nice little base here. Pack down, harden up, and it will keep the cabin a little bit cleaner. Right, now I can set up the bunk. There, bunk's all set up. All right, before this thing gets completely bare to snow, all this wood, try and get as much of it, if not all of it, into the firewood shed. It's nice and seasoned, so it's ready to burn. Just got to get it kind of out of the elements. Okay, the whole pile fit into the shed. I didn't bother stacking it because there's a row of wood that fell down anyway. So the whole point of the shed is to keep it out of the weather, right? So I know I might get some comments about stacking wood and versus piling, leaving in piles and stuff like that, but the shed's doing a job. The wood's seasoned. It's all good. And besides, I'm going to try and pile as much as I can, like the contour of the roof. I can only get so high as if I was to stack it. And it's not very stable. I'm not very good at stacking wood in sheds, so I don't know if anybody's got any ideas on how to do that without it falling over. I'm all ears. All right, let's go have some lunch. Cold lunch, chicken and baked potato from last night. Now this is a decent start for snow for the year. I wouldn't mind getting another 4 feet like we did a few years ago. That was nice. Remember shoveling around here, it had piles, huge piles around it. And then at night with the fire reflecting, it was like you're in this little enclosed area. It kind of felt pretty neat. But it seems like par for the course for this time of year, the amount of snow that we have. I'm just waiting for that next dump, a foot or more, next storm. Here we go. Off for a quad ride in the winter wonderland. Out doing a bit of hunting. Gonna quad out to a spot. See if I can find a whitetail buck.
To your eyes, I see we're out of time. I guess no one's to blame, nobody crossed the line. I guess we couldn't see, somehow we couldn't feel. Maybe we rose too fast, maybe we got too high. But
Alright, now I go for a little walk. Park the quad. I'll walk out to my spot here. I like this area, especially on days like this. Nice and quiet and peaceful. Okay, so I'm just at my spot, or heading into my spot. And I notice there's some truck tracks going down there. You only see one set of truck tracks. Looks like they're going in. Nothing's come out yet, so it's kind of a weird spot for a truck, but I guess. So I gotta find a different spot. Busy day today. Seeing a lot of traffic. People in their spots already. It was a little bit later in the day getting camp set up, but what can you do, right? All right. So it's getting later on in the afternoon. I'm gonna head back to the cabin, I think, and start preparing for supper. Fire up the fire pit, and start cooking dinner here. Getting ready for the evening. Interesting, when I came back on my quad trail that I come back on, there's 2 or 3 different sets of deer tracks on my quad track, so they're moving around. They look like they were does though, so nothing could be harvested. So anyway, we'll head back to the cabin and stoke up the fire and get nice and warm in there, and we'll get ready for the evening. There. Don't need too much cedar. I'm gonna get both of these fire pits going. There should be enough cedar to get it started. It's the thing with those little starter, what do you call them? Starting bricks, fire starting bricks. They light really easy and they last longer than like wood, or paper and stick matches. So you can use less cedar, but you can also use bigger cedar, bigger chunks of cedar, which of course helps it last. All right, so we'll get this one fire pit going here up by the cabin. Then I'm going to go down to the outdoor kitchen, start that, because that's where the cat's ass is, and that's where I'm going to be cooking this evening. Okay. Cornish game hen tonight. I haven't had one of these little guys for a very long time. They're so good. We got some pepper here. Pepper. A bit of salt. You know what, I'm just going to put a dab of oil in the bottom of this. Just like so. Now we'll get that going first before I throw the vegetables in. I've got potatoes, I've got carrots, I've got onion, and I'm going to throw a tomato in there as well. And then mix up a gravy and throw it in to finish it off. That shouldn't take too much longer for that to be done. That is looking real good. Oh wow, that looks delicious. Now, grab myself a plate. What I can do, just hack off a little piece here. These game hens are so good. That breast looks wonderful. I'll probably eat half of this thing. A little wing. Now, grab some vegetables. Get some gravy here and throw it on the meat. Oh yeah. Throw that on the counter. Put the lid back on. Perfect. Just move that over like that. Now we get to eat. Now, to find out if I did good or not. Oh yeah, that's a winner. What an excellent meal for the first snowy and cold day. Well, it's a pretty good supper, I have to say. Great day out here at the property. Setting it up camp. Enjoying the snow and the cold. Going for a quad ride. And seeing that deer at the property here today was something else. So now all that's left to do is kick back and relax. Enjoy the evening. Take it all in. I'll sit out here for a while and burn this firewood down. Then I'll head in and watch a movie and kick back. Okay, just finishing off the evening. Finished off my movie here. About halfway through it. It's about 9 o'clock right now. Gonna be hitting the bed, stoke up the fire, just let it cruise the rest of the night. That airtight is actually working pretty good. I'm surprised how efficient it is. Mind you, it's not very cold out. It's not very cold out right now. We're not even minus teens yet, so I got the window slightly cracked open. Get a nice breeze coming in here. According to my little temperature, chimney temperature gauge, it's running a little cool right now, but it's really comfortable in here. I think we're plus 22. It's nice. Should make for a good sleep. Anyways, a really good day out today. Fresh snow. Well, not quite fresh. It's a few days old, but it's still not packed down or anything like that. Still kind of fluffy. Temperature was great. I think we're about -7 all day, so it didn't. Temperature didn't rise, didn't fall, didn't get too cold, didn't get too hot. It was good. Follow it up with an excellent dinner and a nice evening outside. Can't get any better. So the fire went out last night. It's about 4 in the morning right now. I'd like to get it going again. Kind of go back to bed for a little bit. It's starting to get cool in there. Sun's not quite up yet, so See, maybe we'll get a little bit more cedar. There, just like that. Now it didn't get down to freezing inside the cabin. It is cool though. Alright, I just like to get this wood heater going and crawl back into bed and relax. So the idea was to keep the fire going throughout the night, but that didn't happen. I went to sleep around 9:30, and I made sure the stove, I made sure the wood stove was nice and stocked up, and should last a few hours, and it did. But I failed to wake up. I didn't get up till just before 4. And then I realized it was cooler in here, so didn't want to quite get up yet. So start the fire, and I'll just crawl back into the sleeping bag here, and maybe wake up, maybe drift back off to sleep. Still pretty dark outside. Can't really do anything yet. Well, maybe another hour in bed, and then I'll get up. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep a bunch of kindling for the next time I'm out here. It's one less thing to do when I get here, right? Yeah, it was kind of a pain this morning getting up to come out here and get some kindling for to restart that fire, but it was all right getting back into the bed once the fire was going. But I'd like to get a bit of a stockpile going here for the little kindling box. So you can probably just use that one like that. Oh, that's a good piece here. Oh wow, there's a lot of snow in this tent right now, so I gotta clear it off, get some of the weight off. Just a lot of weight on there. They're cleaned off. There's quite a bit of ice accumulated in the corners there where it sags down. In those warmer days when it melted, there's just pools of water in the corners. So I had to grab my hammer and kind of bust it up because it was kind of frozen around some of the fabric, right? So got to maintain that thing and keep it cleaned off throughout the winter. Those tents can't handle the snow load like you'd think. Looking forward to trying it out this year, out at the cabin. Do an overnight in it and see how it fares. I got to find a decent stove for it though. The one I got's not very efficient at all. It burns wood up really quick. I haven't spent an overnight in cold weather in it in a very long time, a few years, maybe 4 years. It's actually just over here by the outdoor kitchen, the pavilion. I had it kind of set up in the trees, and it was all right. But like I said, the wood stove wasn't the best. I might try one of my hot tenting, my Pomali Dweller stoves. It's pretty efficient, and it does crank out the heat, but it's just not very big. Be sure to cover this up so it doesn't fill up with snow. And use this as weight. Wind can't blow it off now. I'm gonna hang this back up so I don't lose it in the snow. Actually, easier to Of course, there's ice in this thing. I am a huge fan of strapping my ramp to my truck when I'm loading my quad, even unloading it. Even though when I'm unloading it, I'm generally not on it. That's not cool. Yeah, generally when I'm unloading it, I'm not on it. But with strapping this down, especially in the ice and snow, it's a bit more security for the ramp slipping. I've had ramps slip before, this one specifically, and I strap it down year round, like even nice ground, level ground where the ramp will dig into the soil and that. I strap it down even then. Straighten up these straps so they don't get caught underneath the wheel, which makes loading that much harder. Otherwise my quad's gonna die. Taking too long. Might be a good idea to shovel the snow out too while it's empty. Now just gotta strap it down. Well, camp is more or less broken up now. I just gotta unhook the Blue Eddy and load it up, and I'll be on my way. It was a pretty good trip out here, I have to say. Did enjoy myself, and it's a great start to the season. Here's hoping to a nice cold and snowy season. and looking forward to spend a lot of time out here between now and April. Anyway, with that said, if you made it with me this far, thank you, and we'll talk to you later.